Hey everybody, it's Maiku and welcome to the Maikuniverse. I am sitting here and I just watched this movie on Netflix called Tall Girl, which was surprisingly better than I expected. I really enjoyed this song at the end. It's still stuck in my head right now. Well, let's just go through it. It's kind of by the numbers, and it's a teen sort of romantic comedy, and it's very entertaining, and there's some things, but let's just start out. So it starts out with Tall Girl, and she is tall, and she's sitting in the library, and this guy starts talking to her, and he's saying that he doesn't understand the book, and they kind of bond over the fact that the book is about alienation, and they have a cute little interchange, and he goes to ask her out and realizes when she stands up that she is very, very tall. We're talking like over 6 feet tall. And this is where I knew that the story was going to be far fetched because the guy clearly was giving like homosexual vibes. I believe in gaydar, so that was just a thing. I was thinking like he's not into her, but apparently the movie was trying to force that. So of course we're instantly meant to feel sorry for her, and then everyone in the school is going around asking her how's the weather up there, which is I that's never been a clever statement, and I think that not everyone in the school would say it. Like they get sick of saying that after a while if she went to school with all these people. But whatever. We're supposed to believe that that is her life, and it's fine. Her dad is Steve Zahn, who is a character actor who's pretty funny, entertaining. He plays kind of a sensitive type, and the mom is a little bit more cold, or a little bit more. She's a little bit less relatable because she was popular. So her mom doesn't really have big kind of story arc in this. And then she has a sister as well who's um, a pageant, a pageant person, a pageant girl, a pageant teen who competes in beauty pageants and follows in her mom's footsteps. Then you also meet her best friend in the beginning named Farida. Her name is Farida, and Farida is apparently a dancer and fashion designer. She's just all around creative, sassy black type. And she is, of course, a sage black person who is the voice of reason and kind of help guides Jody, who's the tall girl. Guides Jody, our main character, throughout the movie and kind of gives her sage advice to like love herself, because that is what black people are known to do, is go around telling people how they should love themselves, because of course we have much deeper things to deal with than height. Well, not saying that height's not something to deal with, but we have deeper things to deal with than just being tall, and standing out for that. So there's that, and then we meet Dunkelman, who is apparently Jody's best friend, but he's in love with her and he carries around this milk crate. So, and no one knows why he carries around this milk crate, but you find out why eventually. So, in the movie, this happens. All of this is going around. We meet Stig, who is apparently a Swedish student, exchange student who is very tall and attractive. He's basically a vampire. He's a Cullen from Twilight. He's a Cullen from Twilight. He is perfect skin, good looking, long hair, blonde, and probably will age beautifully because, Swedes, I guess. And he has a slight accent, and Jody is, of course, head over heels infatuated and lust with him because he's tall. And even though Dunkelman is all over her and is throwing himself at her desperately, pathetically so almost, she does not see her friend as more than just a friend. So you can probably tell where this is going to go towards the end. But the journey is what's important, right? We all know that the tropes are going to be there and the stereotypical things are going to happen. So we end up going through this story, and we have, you know, kind of a few plots going on. You've got Jody, who needs to overcome her shame for being tall. You've got Dunkelman, who needs to realize that love is not forcing someone to be with you, but allowing them to be themselves and letting them pick you. You've got Stig, who needs to realize that being cool is not everything. Yeah, you've got that. Those are your major plot lines. I mean, there's a little subplot with the sister going through pageants, I don't know why this was in there. It didn't really need to be. It's kind of seemed like its own separate sort of thing. I kind of want to see a spin off TV show about the sister because she was kind of funny, even though the humor didn't really land as much as it should have. Oh, Jodie plays the piano, and she doesn't want to play the piano anymore because people make fun of her or someone of the villain whose name is Kimmy. How dare they use the name Kimmy and make it bad? Kimmy Schmidt is amazing. The Kimmy, who apparently is the bad girl, the mean girl, she has made fun of Jodie since she was a little kid. They were both little kids, and it's, I mean, she's got some good one-liners. This is all happening, and of course, Kimmy goes after Stig, and Stig decides to be girlfriends with them, but he also has feelings for Jodie because they bond over musicals, which means that he is really the dork that he says he is, because people who like musicals are apparently dorks, which isn't really a thing. Dunkelman is all into Jodie, but of course, there's a girl who's into Dunkelman that he's not really paying attention to because he only has eyes for Jodie. And Farida has nothing to do in the movie except for dance around and dress awkwardly, and she's apparently wants to do fashion, but her experimentations are tacky and trashy and not good. And it looks like someone who's really has never studied anything, like the internet doesn't exist. Um, and she's just kind of there to give advice to Jodie, as is her mother, as is her dad, as is her sister. So I don't know why Farida was even in the movie because her sister pretty much did the same role and actually got through. One of the guys who's made fun of Jodie her entire childhood, her entire life up until this point, ends up seeing her with makeup on and finds her attractive. So then they go on a date at the behest of the villain Kimmy, who is paranoid and rightly so that Jodie and Stig have a thing going on because Jodie went over obviously to was invited over to Stig's house, who's also I forgot who's also staying with Dunkelman because his mom just magically sprung on him that he's having an exchange student. Not like there wasn't any paperwork or anything that needed to be involved, and this wouldn't have been known before. But whatever, it's a movie, and so all of this is happening and going on, and we're supposed to believe that Dunkelman is shocked and just finding out the same time as we are, but Sick is staying at his house, and he and Jodie bought over the musicals, and then he invites Jodie over, and she gets all dolled up, even though before she was a plain Jane and didn't care about the way she looked because she didn't want anyone to pay attention to her. But now she's wearing makeup and has her hair done and is dressed all fancy and nice. Where I didn't know she had these clothing before, but apparently she had nice clothing all this time. She just never bothered to wear, which is, I mean, okay, sure, wear sweats. I wish I could wear sweats every day, but not my life. She goes over there, and then of course Dunkelman's jealous, so he's interrupting, and that plays out as you would think. That they invite him, he interrupts and makes obvious noise and tries to ruin their date or whatever, but they end up kissing anyway. Then they agree not to tell Kimmy. Then Stig acts like he doesn't know Jodie, and then invites Dunkelman over, and Dunkelman becomes part of the popular kids group, and of course they use him to throw a house party, and the girl that likes him is of course friends with Kimmy, so she decides to hit on Dunkelman even more, then and then it all comes to head at this wonderful house party. All with the whole movie takes with the backdrop of like homecoming. So Dunkelman agrees to throw this party because his mom is conveniently out of town. By the way, his mom was a black lady. They never explain why his mom's a black lady. His dad isn't there. At least they have a nice house, and they have a big, nice house. So hopefully she's a single mother making out that paper. And it comes to find out that Stig is kind of a jerk, and he lies to Kimmy because he doesn't admit that he wants to break up with her because he wants to be popular like the popular kids that he looked up to when he was in school in Sweden, and blah 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 blah. It all plays out exactly how you think it's gonna be. Jodie decides to dress well, and she finds shoes her size because she apparently wears a size 13 in men's, and she's like, there's no place to buy shoes my size, and I'm like, do drag queens not exist in this universe? But apparently they do because Dunkelman didn't buying her shoes. So it's a very kind of by the numbers and stereotypical, like I called everything that was going to happen. But I guess it's not so much about whether or not the story was predictable, it's whether or not if it was well executed. It was, sure, yeah. I enjoyed it. Again, I enjoyed the there. I laughed a handful of times. I would say I laughed about four to five times, which is a lot for a teen comedy because I'm not the demographic for it. But Kimmy wasn't a unlikable villain, which is actually kind of a good thing. Like, she was bothersome, but she wasn't mean. Like, everything she did, the only thing she did that was really mean is that she had someone fake and asked Kimmy out, or asked Jody out, and that was kind of like, ugh, that was like going the extra mile. But there was also something that she said that really, okay, here's the mystery. This is the mystery of the whole thing. She asked, at one point, she catches Stig and Jody like singing Guys and Dolls while they're playing the piano. And she interrupts and asks Stig to get her a diet slice. And I'm like, where the fuck has Slice been? Like, did no one go over this script and realize that this book or whatever this is based on was really dated? Because Slice does not exist. At least I haven't seen Slice soda in, I don't know, a decade and a half. I don't know. I just know that Slice is not a thing. Like, I mean, Orange Slice was the best. Let's talk about that. And so some of the things she said was just kind of like, what? And you're supposed to hate her, but you don't really hate her, but you should hate her, but you don't really hate her. Anyway, so that basically it ends exactly how you think it's going to end.
When you're a tall girl, it's the only thing that people see.
It's not the only thing I see.
It all gets tied up in a nice little bow, and that's that. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as go to my Patreon account and check out my social media. But most importantly, wear sunscreen, because skin cancer is real, and you should always be wearing sunscreen, even you brown people out there. Thanks a lot. Bye.